What's going on, you guys? Welcome on back to the channel. Now, I know I said that I was done with making ReZero videos until August when the new Cour comes out, but I had a theory come into my mind and I couldn't wait anymore until the new season comes out. So here I am. I broke my vow. I'm making another ReZero video. So the thing that I had come to my mind recently is I know that this whole next section is probably most likely going to be like Amnesia Subaru having to, I guess, save everybody, right? That's kind of like the gist of what I'm getting with this arc. But the more I think about it, the more I think that the Subaru that we know and love is somewhere in the deep recesses of Amnesia Subaru's mind, trying to regain control of, I guess, his body again. Because as far as we know, the last time that we saw like our original Subaru was when he went up the staircase and then he was just gone, right? He was gone. If he lost his memories, and we now have Amnesia Subaru. And at first, I thought like it was going to be a case of like, oh, like it's not going to be until like the end of this current season until we get Subaru back, and like he's going to get all of his memories back. But I don't think that anymore. Now, I actually think something crazier. I think there's two versions of Subaru that are fighting for control of like the body at this point, right? We have Amnesia Subaru, who is who's kind of like in the forefront of the narrative, right? He's kind of the one taking control of everything. And then we have the Subaru that we know and love, who I feel like is struggling to regain control of his body, and he keeps getting suppressed. That's what I think is happening here. But how is he getting suppressed? Well, as we all know, Gluttony has been all over the marketing for this season, right? They have been everywhere. They were in the opening, they were in this new poster that came out, and we have not seen them at all, right? We have no idea where they are. We have not seen anything with them yet. So my whole thing is, when Subaru got possessed before he lost, like before like everything with Mealy happened, right? Like before Mealy died, when we saw Subaru getting possessed, I think that's a Gluttony variant, right? That's what I think at this point. Is like that's a Gluttony variant that's taking control of Subaru's body, right? So that's one thing. But another thing that I think is going on too is that when Amnesia Subaru keeps getting knocked out, right, and you see like the screen kind of like cut to gray, and like it goes to like kind of like a static, like, like when the TV cuts out and all that, and it cuts out. That's what's happening here. That is, I think, our version of Subaru regaining control of his body in that moment, and he only has a limited time in the body in order to like do anything that he wants to do. So what does he do? He like pretty much just writes into his arm, Subarunatsuki was here, right? Because that's the only way that he can get across to himself that he still exists, right? That there's more than just Amnesia Subaru, that he's not just like a completely new person. There's like an actual Subaru here. Like his entire memory just isn't like gone. That's what I think's going on here with Subaru, right? Like it's a really interesting thing when you think about it, like because the Amnesia Subaru thing is so good so far, but I do think that our Subaru is still there in the deep recesses of his own mind, fighting against whatever like this tower has planned for him. Because ever since we've gotten to this tower, Subaru has essentially been targeted, right? He was targeted like at the very beginning where we saw Return by Death like happening again. Like so much is really happening, right? And the more I think about it, man, the more I think that Subaru at this point is just a pawn to try. I feel like someone is trying to get his power, right? Because we've been seeing Return by Death utilized more and more, like within this arc. So it makes me think maybe Shaula has been like conscripted to learn more about Return by Death, right? Like maybe like that's the reason why she was targeting Subaru so much at the beginning because she can sense like his witch factor. That's what I think. Maybe like she can kind of like sense the witch of envy on him, and that's why she's targeting him so much. So I think she's pretty much conscripted to like, if anybody has like the witch of envy on them, you have to target them and learn about them. So that's what I think is going on with Shaula now. I think she's an agent of whoever is really running this tower, right? Like Shaula is not on our side, right? She's staying close to Subaru because she essentially wants to learn more about him. She wants to learn more about his power and pretty much like the all the inner workings of it. Like even though everybody's supposed to like reset when Subaru resets, I don't think Shaula resets. I think Shaula has been like playing dumb essentially this whole time. And we've kind of been like blindsided by it because like she acts like all like clingy and all this with Subaru, but I think that's all been an act. I think that's her trying to maybe like direct suspicion like away from her, so that way she seems loyal to Subaru, but maybe like she's gonna like betray him at the end. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with Shala, but the more I think about it, the more I don't think she's like one for, I guess, our side, if that makes any sense. I think she's going to switch up at some point, and it's just a matter of time as to when, because we already saw her transform into the Scorpion and attack everybody because they were going against the rules. Now it's just a matter of like, when does she betray Subaru just outright? And I think that's going to happen sometime in the next core. That's honestly what I think is going to happen. But going back to Amnesia Subaru and all and like how our Subaru is fighting for control of his body. I mentioned how like he was essentially like just carving into his body to let himself know that he still exists. But when he did that all over the wall too, that I also think is our version of Subaru trying to fight back and try to regain control over his body and like make Amnesia Subaru realize that he's not like a completely separate entity, right? The version of Subaru that we know does exist. And he's trying to essentially remind him of that, right? He thinks Subarunatsuki like is just a completely separate like entity. And he thinks like he doesn't really exist. But what I think our Subaru is also trying to do, like his second mission is like essentially to remind Amnesia Subaru that they are both one and the same person, right? That's I think is his second goal. One is to regain control of his body. Two is essentially to help Amnesia Subaru realize that they're the same person, right? The feelings that they have for Amelia, like with everything that we saw with Amelia's declaration of love in the finale episode, right? You saw how it resonated with him. Everything with Beatrice, everything with Rom, Anastasia, like all of that is for Amnesia Subaru to realize that him and our Subaru's feelings about these people are real. They're real emotions. Like that's why him killing them always felt wrong to him, because he has those emotions with them. He has those feelings because he cares about them. And that has essentially been our Subaru's entire mission statement, trying to make Amnesia Subaru realize that they're one and the same, that they're the same person. And until Amnesia Subaru, like, I still think he has to go through like a few trials in order to really bring back our Subaru. But now it's just a matter of time, because now that essentially the Amnesia Subaru has essentially fully like accepted himself and locked in, and now he wants to save everybody, that's one step done, right? That's one step done that our version of Subaru needs in order to regain control of his body, right? That's the first lock done. Like having Amnesia Subaru realize that they're one and the same person. Now it's going to be a matter of, can they get through the rest of the trials with Amnesia Subaru? Like, can he create these new bonds for himself, and can he trust these people? Because I do still think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for him. But now it comes down to like, can they even make it through this? Like Julius has his whole fight going on with with the Estrella. So that's going to be a whole thing. Like Julius's whole fight, we got to go through that. Like I still think Rom is going to have more stuff to do. So there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on within the next core, and I still think Rem is going to play, I guess, maybe a factor because we did see in one of the previous episodes, like one of the early Amnesia Subaru episodes, Rem coming back, right? Even if it was just for a second, we still don't know how it happened. We don't know why it happened, but Rem was walking around. Rem was talking to him, like, and she's the one that ended Amnesia Subaru's loops, right? When she cut off his head and was like, "Better luck next time." So she somehow knows about Return by Death, and that's another reason why I think Gluttony or whoever it is operating in the shadows, right? Because we have not seen them this entire season. They are in the like I said, they are in the opening, they're in the poster, but you don't see them. So I think they've just been operating in secret this entire time. And the more I think about it, the more it honestly makes sense because keeping them secret like this and keeping them close to the vest, like for next season, and make them be like obstacles for Subaru, that's actually really cool. I like that idea a lot. But I feel like next core, in order for Amnesia Subaru and I guess our version of Subaru to really fully come back, like I said, he has to fully rectify with Amnesia Subaru, and they both have to come together, which they are already starting that process of. But I do feel like getting Rem to come back, right? Making her come back, making her remember Subaru, and all of that. I think that is going to be the main factor. And I think, like Gluttony, their main objective is to keep Subaru from getting Rem's memories back, right? From essentially saving them. Because once that happens, right, our version of Subaru can come back. And I think they're still trying to learn more about Return by Death and all of its inner workings. So they want to keep Subaru from passing these trials for as long as possible. That's what I think the objective for this next season is for the villain side, is to keep Subaru from unlocking his full version of himself and regaining control of his body. That's what I think is going on next season. And honestly, man, if any of this actually happens, I will love that, right? Because like, oh man, I miss ReZero so much, dude. Like, that's why I was so excited to really just sit down and make this little theory video. Like, I know it's not like an episode video, and I know this is different from like my usual content with ReZero, but I miss this series so much, man. And I figured this would be a fun little video to make and reconnect with the community again. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Does this theory like maybe strike a chord with anybody? I would love to know how you guys feel about it. And with that being said, you guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys for Core 2 in August. We're just a couple weeks away. I'm looking forward to it. I guess I should also say this. I'm also covering Black Torch as well. And I might even cover Thousand Year Blood War, the final part, when that comes out. So I'm going to be pretty busy when Core 2 eventually comes back. I might potentially have 3 series that I'm talking about at the same time. But hey, that's how I guess we're going to be rolling in August. So, but ReZero for me will always have the priority. Like, that's always going to be the one that I'm talking about first because I love ReZero, man. This has become essentially my favorite series to talk about. So I'm looking forward to Core 2, man, and I hope you guys will join me when this new core starts back up again. So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Bye.